conflict, war, whether in Africa or elsewhere, undermine the progress of all of us within this continent and outside the continent. And there are three fundamental areas that we need to focus to be able to deal with this challenge. Number one is the root causes of conflict and war, which is largely poverty, underdevelopment, unemployment, and related inequalities. The theme of this conference, Africa Forward, has addressed some of the issues in the multiplicity of sectors, in health, in education, in industrialization, in financing of development. We have had a robust conversation to deal with the challenge of poverty, unemployment, and underdevelopment. Number two is reform of our African architecture, starting from here. The peace and security architecture in the African Union is an area that has been identified by the African Union itself, and I was given the mandate to reform the organs and institutions of the African Union. We will be discussing in Egypt the proposals we have to review and to reform the African Union peace and security architecture so that we make it much more agile, much more responsive, well-funded, so that we can be able to tackle the challenges that face us in this continent as Africans before we seek for help elsewhere. Number three is the reform of the governance, peace and security governance globally. We have taken a firm position on two items. Number one is that African-led peace and security interventions, there is now a UN resolution that this will be funded by assessed contributions of the UN. We want to pursue that particular aspect so that whether it is the Africa Standby Force, which was already there is a resolution to that effect, we want to bring efficacy to that resolution. Our position is that it is not practical, it is not possible, it is unjust, it's unfair, it is morally wrong for 1.5 billion people to have no say on matters that affect them the most, matters of instability, conflict, war, and insecurity. And therefore, the reform of the UN Security Council is a matter, according to us, that is not negotiable. It is a matter of justice, and it speaks to the credibility of the UN itself. And therefore, as has been said here, either we abolish the veto provisions, or it's made available to everybody. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, our conversation today has been captured in a draft final document that has been circulated. They are right there on your tables. It has been worked out by teams around this table. We have not received any objections to this position, and we take it that it is our collective position as an outcome of this Africa Forward Summit. It is right there with you, and this will be presented as the final document that is going to inform conversations into the future, including at the G7. Thank you very much for your kind attendance and your contribution. Merci beaucoup. We believe that if we are to secure this continent, if we are to reduce conflicts in this continent, interventions led by the African Union must be, as per resolution of the UN, must be funded by UN assessed contribution.
For Africa, delayed or blocked action has too often prolonged conflicts, worsened humanitarian suffering, and constrained international support for African-led peace initiatives. Reform, therefore, is not only a regional imperative, but a global public good for the future. Indeed, Africa's position is that the veto should ultimately be abolished. However, if it is retained, its application must be universal and non-discriminatory. Denying new permanent members the same rights and privileges would merely institutionalize a second-tier system of permanent inequality. Justice demands parity, not partial inclusion. Kenya reaffirms its commitment to accelerated, comprehensive, and meaningful reform of the UN Security Council as per the Africa's common position. We also recognize that initiatives such as the France-Mexico proposal, advocating for voluntary veto restraint in cases of genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. While such initiatives do not substitute for comprehensive reform nor conflict with the African common position on the UN Security Council reforms, as encapsulated in the C10 model, they nonetheless represent important interim measures towards enhancing accountability and moral responsibility within the Council. The time for reform is now. Africa's voice must not merely be heard, it must be permanently represented where the most consequential decisions on global peace and security are made. I thank you.
Thank you very much.